Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to your fantastic and incredible and oh so magical continuing coverage of the Defense 2, brought to you and organized by joinDOTA, commentated by Toshley, and sponsored by Razor and BenQ. And take a look at what we have here right now. It's the new picking and banning, the new captain's mode screen, ladies and gentlemen. No need for overlays anymore. It's sort of built in, but there's still some white space there. If someone wants to put some overlays in, if someone wants some shameless advertising, and you can see they've already placed their own advertising in there for the international. We can see right here, August 31st through to September the 2nd, 2012, the international 2. And speaking of the international 2, one of the teams we have playing for us today over on the Radiant side, they hail from the land of Ukraine. They won a cool $1 million at the very first international last year. They are the team Na'Vi, playing it up on the Radiant side, and they will be fighting it up against Team Fnatic, hailing from the land of, well, the European Union in general. Team Fnatic over on the Dire side. Jumping straight into the draft, we have Brewmaster and Enchantress removed out first for Na'Vi, with Fnatic taking out the Lycan and taking out the Chen. Thus far, very standard bans. Brewmaster's not as much of a standard ban as a first ban rather. But maybe it's because Fnatic like to play that Brewmaster, they're very effective at him, or maybe they want someone like Enigma, to which Brewmaster's a pretty effective a counter against due to the fact that the Black Hole doesn't affect him after he splits. Or maybe they just want to make sure that they don't have any heroes that can contest against them towards the mid stages of the game. Brewmaster, once he gets to the mid stage, once he has level 1 or 2 split, he becomes very difficult to kill, and it basically means that he can initiate. It means that Team Fnatic, if they had a Brewmaster, can initiate whenever the hell they want, because if one of Brewmaster dies, it doesn't matter because there's 2 more, and you have to kill all 3 in order to actually kill him. So bringing down Brewmaster is a pretty difficult chore in and of itself. It's a very understandable for Na'Vi to remove them if they want to go for a sort of a style that's not meant to be contested towards the mid stages. The next hero to be removed is a solo side lane split pusher who goes by the name of Broodmother, with Fnatic removing out that Darkseer very rapidly. This leaving Na'Vi having first pick. A very powerful assortment of heroes are available, and they decide to pick up Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet, in my opinion, is one of the strongest heroes in the game. This gives Na'Vi so much versatility. They've got a way of holding down opponents in the form of that Sprout. However, it can be countered by the fact that by simply purchasing a Tango, but don't forget we have the global control to come out of that teleport, able to assist with a gank if either you're doing the ganking or we're getting ganked. You can use that teleport to help out in either scenario. And of course, Nature's Prophet capable of defending lanes and pushing lanes, as well as his ultimate, which is a global lane pushing thing. You use it, you get money, and the lanes get pushed back. He's such a good hero, so versatile. The first couple of picks to be secured by Team Fnatic is that of Enigma and that of Leshrac. And I'm not sure if Fnatic want to really utilize that Enigma, or maybe they picked him up because they thought that, well, since Na'Vi took out that Brewmaster, maybe they wanted an Enigma, so how about we grab him up? Or maybe they just want Enigma. The next pickup going to be Leshrac, an all-round pretty fantastic hero, lots of pushing, lots of fairly effective against heroes with a stun with that Diabolic Edict, and fantastic at eliminating creep waves and taking down towers. The next couple of pickups for Na'Vi are going to be the Lone Druid and the Venomancer, to have a bit of counter solid support and a bit of counter pushing action or pushing action to come out of the Venomancer, as well as an easy ability to pick up that first blood with the Venomous Gale. Then we have the Lone Druid going to be their next pickup, who's a hero that is going to push the crap out of lanes towards the mid stages of the game. This hero is going to put quite a bit of pressure on Fnatic, because if he's left out of check, he's much like the Broodmother. If you leave him alone, he will kill your tier 1, he'll kill your tier 2, and he'll get all the way to your barracks very, very quickly. And typically, you do this why the rest of the team's distracting them in a team fight somewhere, then all of a sudden Lone Druid's at your racks, and you just panic the hell out, because like, how did we let this happen? What the Christ? God damn it, Lone Druid. And the third pickup for the team of Fnatic is going to be the Tinker. Now, I'm not sure, again, this is another circumstance, I'm not sure if Fnatic are picking up the Tinker because they want Tinker, or do they just want to deny it from Na'Vi? It could be a bit of both, because you remember that when you pick something, it also counts as a ban, and we've seen Na'Vi play Tinker fantastically in so many games. There have been several games of the defense where he's been utilized brilliantly by the team of Na'Vi, and there have also been games within other tournaments, such as DreamHack, such as the Star Series, where they made Dendi play that Tinker, and with the Yules and with a Sheep Stick, he could lock out 2 members of the team for the entire duration of a team fight. It was pretty freaking fantastic. But let's jump into the next stage of the ban. SK going to be removed, as well as CK by Team Na'Vi, with the team of Fnatic responding to that by taking out an Invoker and taking out the Beastmaster. Windrunner going to be the 4th pickup by Na'Vi, and here's something I really love about Na'Vi's current composition. In terms of the laning, it's so open. You cannot predict. All of these heroes, with the exception of Venomancer, can go solo lane. And we can also have Nature's Prophet who can go in the jungle. So the lanes are so open right now. We don't know who Venomancer would tag along with, depending on where the Lone Druid and the Windrunner goes. The lanes are so freaking open from Na'Vi. And this is something that Captain Poppy is so good at doing, is picking something that's not predictable. And Fnatic are probably thinking, how the hell are they going to lane this? It's like, we're thinking, gee, we get a Leshrac, Shadow Demon. In fact, Shadow Demon's still in the mix. Shadow Demon, that's a pretty freaking obvious pickup. Shadow Demon plus Leshrac, perfect. They go together so beautifully. And he hasn't been banned, he hasn't been picked. Don't know why Fnatic are thinking so long and hard about this. It's a pretty obvious pickup. You lane Leshrac and Shadow Demon together once again, and they're a horrible thing to lane against. But nevertheless, as for Na'Vi's lanes, probably maybe one of the reasons they're so reluctant to do it is they don't know who's going to go where. Typically you go, okay, we're going to have this hero's going to go here, let's put Leshrac and Shadow Demon there since we have them, and this will easily allow us to either harass and get kills on that hero, or they'll be denied farm and be useless at pretty much all stages of the game. Shadow Demon, next pickup, it's fairly obvious, but again, these lanes from Na'Vi, they can go anywhere. Lone Druids can take any solo lane, Windrunner can take any solo lane, Nature's Prophet can take any solo lane. So, Team Fnatic, I mean, it's usually pretty beneficial to be able to predict who's going to go where, but Na'Vi, Poppy, is just really good at picking a composition that's flexible, that can go anywhere, that can be anything. And this is one of the reasons why Na'Vi are the team that's winning almost every tournament. Very few teams are able to contest them. We've had Quantic that I believe have been able to take a kill off them, and MTW have repeatedly taken several wins off them. In fact, beaten them downright in several tournaments. That's about it. Mouse Sports I think has taken one game of them off in Star Series. And that was just because Na'Vi decided to I think they got a bit cocky. They made a good number of mistakes. But seriously, they're such a freaking good team. But waiting for their 5th and final pickup. As to who will be, well, I think Captain Poppy wants to continue on with the trend of non-predictable lanes, where we could have pretty much anyone go anywhere. I have a feeling they might want someone to perform the role of hard carry, maybe a Morphling, because we have the Venomancer to support. Tidehunter is going to be the next pickup, so this is going to give them some great initiation, but there's one problem currently from Na'Vi. They have no real late game carry. They have Windrunner who can play... Dendi likes to play semi-carry Windrunner, but towards the later stages of the game, Windrunner will fall off. She will not be very effective, and so Na'Vi is sort of risking it with their removal, their current composition. They're relying on being able to kill the team of Fnatic early on, and if they can't do that, they're going to fall behind. Lone Druid, I've heard some people call Lone Druid a hard carry. I disagree with that entirely. He's hard to kill, but he doesn't do that much damage, which is why I'd be really reluctant to call him any form of hard carry, because as a hard carry you need to kill people, you need to kill them hard. Lone Druid, he's hard to kill. Does he kill people that much? He does with the assistance of teammates, but then again, we have no hard carry. We're not going to have that massive amounts of right-click damage to come out of Na'Vi when Lone Druid gets an entangle on someone. And I think Fnatic are probably thinking something similar in the sense that they need someone to hard carry. But it depends. What do they want to go for? Do they want to go for a composition that can contest with Na'Vi and try and fight them head on? Or do they want to go with something that can defend against what's coming against them and then beat them at the end game? Because Na'Vi's end game is going to be really weak. But Queen of Pain is going to be the 5th and final pickup for the team of Fnatic. And look at that little versus thing that pops in and shines, and let's be honest, this new picking and banning screen, it's pretty freaking cool, for lack of a better term. But the heroes have all been decided. We are not jumping into the game just yet for whatever reason. Hopefully it will happen within the next couple of moments. and we won't be sitting here looking at the heroes. Also, something else that's relatively neat, we can no, it doesn't work. Well, we can see the skills there, but we can't actually, I mean, we can see what the skills are, but we can't see what they do, which is, oh, okay, it works down here. Na'Vi's team just doesn't work in that regard. However, Team Fnatic, we can see all of their abilities, and for some reason, we're still yet to jump in the game. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Na'Vi versus Fnatic. Over here on Na'Vi's side, we have a stand-in near taking up the role of that Venomancer, Light of Heaven playing as that Tidehunter. We have Dendi taking up the role of that Windrunner, Nature's Prophet playing as that Puppy, Captain Puppy playing as a Nature's Prophet, last but by no means least, a stand-in playing as the Lone Druid. His name goes by the name of DeBland. Boy, that was stretched out far more than it needed to be, but over on Fnatic side, we have Fly taking up the role of the Enigma, Shadow Demon being played by No Tail, Trixie, a stand-in for the team of Fnatic. They played with him the last game that Fnatic played in for the Defense 2, I believe, playing as that Leshrac. We have H4N1 playing as that Tinker, and where the hell is the Queen of Pain? There we are, Era playing as that Queen of Pain. The entire team of Na'Vi making their way down south, looking for that early first blood, and Fnatic are echoing that statement indeed. Both sides heading down. However, Na'Vi are a little bit more grouped up. If a hero of Fnatic do get caught out, they're going to find themselves in some hot water, and that could potentially be Queen of Pain, but she no doubt saw the tree and just then backing off. Very nice, and no first blood will be had for us today, unfortunately. It is yet to spill, and will happen later. As for the lanes, Dendi's going to be going maybe Tide? I don't know, yeah. Dendi loves that solo mid. He always goes solo mid. It's obvious that that Windrunner being played by Dendi will be going solo mid. It seems Light of Heaven will be taking the solo top lane. Down the bottom we will have Lone Druid and the Venomancer, it seems. With that, of course, leaves Nature's Prophet in the jungle. Who would have guessed? But looking at the lanes over on the side of Fnatic, we have Tinker going solo top. And looks like we're going to have Leshrac, Shadow Demon going mid, fairly obvious. And down the bottom we will have Queen of Pain, with of course leaving Enigma in the jungle. I'm a little bit worried about the Tinker going solo top. However, Tidehunter probably won't be able to cause too much damage for him. Tidehunter might actually have some problems unless he gets some early points in Kraken Shell, because Tinker can just right click and harass him as much as possible, as well as those rockets. Anyway, disruption to come in on the Windrunner, Split Earth going to follow. The Windrun is going to allow her to get out of there without too many problems. Trying to body block, however, it's not going to be enough. A few more right clicks to come in on the Dendi, but he's just going to salve his way back to sweet full HP and return straight into the laning. In the meantime, Venomancer going on the Queen of Pain. Venomous Gale has already landed, exchanging right clicks at this very moment. Blink being picked up, so there's no Shadow Strike to do a bit of extra damage. However, I don't think it's going to be enough, and retreating back to the creep wave, the Queen of Pain gets away without any problems at all. If the Queen of Pain decided to go Shadow Strike first, I think it's Shadow Strike, might be Shadow Poison. Moving in again, blinking away to safety, however. If we went Shadow Strike first, we could have possibly picked up that kill. However, it would have meant that there was no way Queen of Pain could have escaped, so another gank could have come in. Furion could have TP'd in, though that was unlikely. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a point in teleport. He does not, indeed. And Windrunner going up against the combination of Leshrac and Shadow Demon. I have a feeling, I mean, Windrunner has a Windrunner. She's alright at escaping from bad situations, but we've got some hard disables, and if you get a disruption and a curse with a Split Earth to follow, and then some Diabolic Edict damage to come in, it's going to be really painful for Dendi. So Dendi might have some trouble staying it out over in this middle lane, and in fact could be the one to give up first blood. It's very likely to give up first blood against Shadow Demon and Leshrac. Tends to happen. Exchanging right clicks at this moment. Leshrac getting a bit low on HP actually, but has some tangos and the healing salve to bring him back up if any bad things were to happen to him. And Nature's Prophet is of course not too far away, doing a little bit of counter-warding action with Shadow Demon. Sort of, I'm not sure what exactly he was doing. Looks like he wanted to get in position, but the Nature's Prophet of course scattered it up, securing himself a regeneration rune. No bottle for him, however, but it will bring him back to full and allow him to engage at the next possible moment. I want to keep a close eye on this middle lane. If First Blood's going to spill anywhere, it could be here. Queen of Pain looks like to be having some trouble down bottom, only having one last hit thus far. Speaking of which, let's bring the deniers up. We should always have this up indeed. Lone Druid 11 for 6, doing an alright job down the bottom lane. We can see Tidehunter's only 7 to 0, not doing particularly great, and the Tinker's 12 to 1, getting plenty of farm down at that bottom lane. As we hear the glorious sounds of dead air, we can see Venomancer keeping a close eye on everything, pulling that neutral camp, and Windrunner is now pushing himself very far forward. This could be bad for Dendi. A disruption to open, followed by the Split Earth, and of course a curse would be devastating, and he wouldn't have very far to run, and reinforcements are a good distance away, but he backs off at the right moment, and will be absolutely fine. Continuing to stack this neutral camp, indeed the Venomancer is. I still want to keep a very close eye on this Dendi. Moving in again, we have to be careful of that disruption to come in from the Shadow Demon. But for the most part, both sides have settled down. Bottle in hand for the Windrunner. We'll be able to hopefully get a good amount of rune control and allow her to have much more survivability in the lane. If she can capture all the runes, then she should be able to survive here without too many problems. However, if Shadow Demon and Leshrac secure the runes, suddenly there's going to be no regen for the Dendi and a lot of problems could arise. Looks like we're trying to get in position, but the Queen of Pain is just not looking for the Venomous Gale, but can the Lone Druid come into support in time? I don't think the damage would be enough if the Venomous Gale was to land there on the Queen of Pain. Meanwhile, Disruption coming in on the Dendi over in the middle lane. The Curse going to land as well. Split Earth going to follow. Trying to Windrun out and currently stunned for a good amount of time. And in comes the Enigma to come and reinforce, but it isn't even necessary. The right-click damage is enough. The First Blood has been spilt, being picked up by Team Fnatic with Shadow Demon securing the First Blood gold. Dendi most definitely not happy about that. Again, not a fun lane to go up against, but there's no shame in dying to a Shadow Demon Leshrac combination because, well, if you don't die to a Shadow Demon Leshrac, chances are they're bad, especially when it's 2 versus 1. If there's two or three of you there, yeah, then chances are you won't die. Venomous Gale to go down with the Disruption to retaliate, as well as a Curse, and trapped in the... It's actually friggin' trapped by the illusions. He cannot move at all, taking tons of damage by him and the Shadow Demon. One right click will be enough to pop him, putting that Healing Salve off and trying to bring himself up. Healing Salve denied. Split Earth, picking up the kill right there. Fantastic by Fnatic. 2-0. And securing himself a delicious invisibility rune. Now the team of Fnatic have to be, or rather the team of Navi have to be that little bit more cautious, because all of a sudden a freaking Shadow Demon Disruption initiation can come out of absolutely nowhere and wreak havoc. And again, we can see Dendi, Windrunner, staying very close to the tower, doesn't want to push herself too far forward. And it looks like Shadow Demon's thinking, well, looks like Dendi's well aware of this. Are the team up top that aware of it, though? We could get a kill on this Tidehunter, but Poppy's not too far away, and he is going to get caught out by the Enigma, which means that Shadow Demon, does he want to keep pushing forward? He does, of course, have the invisibility, but it is about to run out, so revealing himself, he has to initiate here. And here it comes. Disruption as well as a Curse. Tidehunter running back away. The Malphus stun to land on him. The right-click damage is being dealt. Rockets to come in as the laser beams going to pick up the kill right there. Third kill for the team of Fnatic, just 5 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. The Shadow Demon's still here. The Disruption is currently on cooldown. He doesn't have to worry at the current moment, but he has to stay back. He has to play it safe at the tower, or else the Disruption will come in to initiate, and bad tidings will be had. And Fnatic might take this opportunity to push down this top tower. Disruption going to come down, just getting the gush off in time. However, we're going to protect him a little bit. Malphus stun to land. Not getting quite trapped there by the illusions, and the right-click damage not going to be enough. The Kraken Shell just absorbs a bit too much. But in the meantime, there's little that Tidehunter can do to try and defend this top tower. It's taking some damage, but the creep wave has been eliminated. The team of Fnatic are going to retreat. They've achieved a nice victory. They've picked up some kills. They've done some damage to the tower. We should be happy with this. However, Na'Vi are responding to this Dendi and Poppy, now trying to take this middle tower and placing a ward up here on the high ground. Very good idea by Poppy to make sure no surprises are had. I was actually thinking he was going to put a tree in up there, but an observer ward works fine as well. Checking for wards, and no wards to be had. In the meantime, Poppy looks like we're going to rotate to bottom. This Queen of Pain's looking awfully gankable, but we have to remember about that blink. It seems Poppy's just going to return to the glorious, glorious woods to continue on with the farming. Looking at the last hits, 25-0 on the Tidehunter. He's not doing as bad as I thought he might. 37-4 in the Tinker. He's obviously, having a much better time. However, the Tidehunter's not in hell right now. He's doing absolutely fine. Looking over at Dendi's side, 16-7, not doing particularly great, as well as having 1 death under his belt compared to the Leshrac. 28-7 with the Shadow Demon. Well, the Shadow Demon has nothing. He doesn't really need anything. Taking Ganna over the bottom lane. 7-1, the Queen of Pain. She's definitely not happy about her current situation. Looking at the Lone Druid, 42-14. Ladies and gentlemen, this Lone Druid is farming his way to great, great victory, justice, and dead towers. Because, good God, the amount of farm that he has, comparable with the Tinker, he's doing a pretty good job, I have to say. However, one must remember that the Tinker is solo farming and has just as many last hits. Meanwhile, the Venomancer is babysitting this Lone Druid. So, Tinker's going to be ever so slightly ahead. We're taking a look at the gold 1k advantage for the team of Fnatic, with a very slight XP advantage for Na'Vi. It's probably due to the fact that I don't think I've seen, yeah, it's because the creep camp's been warded by Na'Vi. I haven't seen them pull this neutral camp once. Meanwhile, the team of Na'Vi are just pulling that neutral camp down here like crazy. In the meantime, Fnatic pushing into their jungle. Dust is going to be found. Poppy's going to be caught out. In comes the Edict doing a nice chunk of damage. The Disruption going to come. The Curse is going to land. No Disruption yet because you don't want to stop that Edict damage. And he drops like a stone. No hope for him. even having a regeneration home. Queen of Pain coming in just in case, and they might even go on Dendi. Is moving into this position a good idea? It most certainly is not. Pulse Nova actually being already in hand. Shackle going to come down, doesn't latch. Power Shot going to follow. Dendi, you really shouldn't be here. The Shadow Demon's not too far away. Queen of Pain blinking in. The Shadow Strike going to come down, but the damage and the slow is not going to be enough to cause any problems for that Dendi. Bear moving in as well as the Venomancer, and Pulse Nova as well as that Eating doing lots of damage, but he has no mana left. However, the Entangle goes down and Leshrac does take a fall. Na'Vi securing themselves the first kill. Puppy teleporting in with a Shadow Demon being trapped. Going to take that invisibility room to make sure that the Shadow Demon doesn't get it. Shackle going to come down, doesn't latch, doesn't need to. Power Shot following through. And the Purge landing there on the Spirit Bear at the last time. However, it doesn't matter in the slightest. And Na'Vi jumped themselves to a nice little position, picking themselves up 2 very easy kills. And of course, Captain Poppy getting his revenge. Dendi in the meantime waiting in position for this Queen of Pain to push a little bit too far forward, and the damage to come in from the Prophet ulti doing a nice chunk of her HP, but not seizing on the opportunity. Windrunner just going to return to the lane. Looking at Light of Heaven at the top, having a nice amount of last hits for a Tidehunter actually. Having that level, he's level 8 already. He's doing a pretty wonderful job. And for the next team fight that Na'Vi have, the team of Fnatic are going to have some problems, and I think this is Na'Vi's strategy, is once we have some levels up, again, we're going to start pushing, and we're going to start pushing like crazy. And because they removed those hard initiating heroes, such as, say, Brewmaster, they're going to have a hard time, because Tidehunter, with that Ravage, means we can pretty much initiate whenever we want. Chances are we're going to work towards a Hood of Defiance, so we have that extra bit of spell damage, and then we're going to start pushing, and maybe we don't even care for that at all. We might just start pushing right the hell now. Unify over at this middle lane and try and secure ourselves a tower. Maybe not, he's just hiding. He's waiting for the rune to spawn. Is it going to come at top? It does indeed. Double damage in hand for him. Going to leave that for Dendi, actually. Use up those bottle charges, spam a couple of power shots. Actually, he is going to pick it up indeed, and looks like we're going to roam around, see if we can pick up and kill, try and even this score up. Lone Druid moving in, nah, just... In the meantime, top tower, Fnatic pushing their way towards this, and this top tower will take a fall. There are no defenses to roll in, however, are Na'Vi going to go for a trade? The middle tower is looking vulnerable, but reinforcements are here. But don't forget, we have that double damage, we have that Ravage. Tidehunter's not too far away, but the double damage has only about 10 seconds left on it. They have to press the issue now if they want to make use of it. Shackle goes down, but it doesn't latch to anything, and they were trying to use a little bit of luck to try and seize an opportunity just then, but it did not pay off. Looking at the Tinker, has a Soul Ring and has the Boots of Travels already. 10 minutes into the game, and we have those Boots of Travel. And now this is going to be problematic for Na'Vi because they're going to have all the lanes be pushed. But we do have a Furion on the team. This does mean that he can teleport around and counter push, so it won't be as big of a problem because we have the mobility to come out of that Prophet in order to sort of counter everything that the Tinker will be doing. And both sides looking like they want to press the issue. Of course, Fnatic already pressing the issue with the fact that they've secured the tier 1 tower over at the top lane. Enigma continuing to farm his way to great justice. 1900 in the bank. Not sure what he's going to work towards next. First, rather. Possibly a mech. We'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, Smoke Gank coming in for the team of Fnatic. We're lurking around the jungle. We're going to catch out the Venomancer. This is going to be an easy kill. Disruption to come in first. The Curse going to follow. Blink to come in. Queen of Pain coming in to assist. Split Earth. And he dies a horrible, horrible death. Absolutely nothing that the Lone Druid can do about it as well. An easy pickup for the team of Fnatic. It looks like Na'Vi maybe want to capitalize on this opportunity. They know that they're all gone. Maybe we should push out mid. However, it seems the team of Fnatic are they going to go for a kill on the Lone Druid? Are they going to stay and push the bottom lane? We'll have to wait and see. Venomancer already returning to the fray. Actually, that is not a Venomancer. That is a Tidehunter, ladies and gentlemen. Dendi checking for top room. It is not here. It is at bottom. It has just been secured by the Leshrac. Dendi absolutely not happy about that at all. At least I wouldn't be happy about it. And for the meantime, Tinker working his way towards a Force Staff, actually, not a Sheep Stick. In the meantime, Lone Druid could find himself being caught out, or maybe not. It might be the Enigma who's getting caught out. Making some conversions out right there. And Spirit Bear coming in to block Venomous Gale to go down. Malphus Thunder Land. The Windrunner doesn't matter. It does not indeed. An easy pickup for the team of Na'Vi, securing themselves another kill. 3-5. As of the current moment, but Leshrac's pushing himself towards the middle tower, and Tinker's pushing himself towards the tier 2 tower over at the top lane. Fortification has been dropped, and both of them will back off. And the team of Fnatic, team of Na'Vi rather, going to push this bottom tower try and take it down. Very low on HP. It would be very easy for them to secure. The only reinforcements are that the Queen of Pain, but more are moving in. We have a Shadow Demon and a Tinker here to reinforce. Taking down this tier 2 tower might be a more difficult task. Rockets flying out, doing a little bit of damage, chaining the bear at the right opportunity. But in the meantime, while all this is going down and bottom, we see the middle lane being pushed out. There's little that Shrek can do about using a Tango to eat his way through the Sprout. Fortification going to be dropped for the team of Fnatic, and if reinforcements don't come in, this tier 1 tower over the middle lane will take a fall. But in comes the Shadow Demon. This could be bad for Purge to land, dispelling that win run. Nice Sprout to come out. Is it going to be enough? I don't think so. No disruption to follow. There it is. A Split Earth is going to come. The Curse is down as well. But the Ravage, a fantastic Ravage to come in. A Venomous Gale to land, and the Mech Charge going to heal the members up. Black Hole only catching out. Nice Black Hole to catch out two of the members, and the Scream to come in well. That is a lot of damage. And Fnatic secure themselves 3 kills on the team of Na'Vi. And they might take this opportunity to push down this middle tower. Will be the easiest tower of their life. No one's here to reinforce. Sorry for the dead air, but after yelling for a while, one must drink and soothe their throat. Edict doing large amounts of damage. Leshrac scouting out ahead, looking for any easy potential kills. Alas, none are to be had, but there's a bit of free farm in the form of the Treants. The tier 1 tower over the middle lane takes a fall. Taking a gander over at the gold, we have a 2k advantage for the team of Fnatic, and the XP being pretty much dead even despite the kill advantage. Na'Vi are just doing they're doing relatively well in the farm department. 68 last hits for the Prophet. We, of course, have 81 for the Lone Druid, 50 and 50 for the Windrunner and Tidehunter. So we're actually doing relatively well. Looking over at Fnatic's side, of course, Tinker's getting free uncontested farm. Pretty much has been the entire game. 26 for Queen of Pain, who's been having a very difficult time. 57 for the Leshrac, and 63 for the Enigma. I gotta say, the Queen of Pain is probably one of the main reasons that Fnatic aren't really rocketing ahead, because she had such a horrible time at the bottom lane, got so few last hits, got denied so much farm. She couldn't move in close because she would have died horribly if she were to do so. The team of Fnatic pushing this bottom tower. The lone defender is the Nature's Prophet. However, Tidehunter's not too far away, and Dendy's moving in to help out as well. If we get the surprise on any of these heroes, really, it could be a nice little kill. However, smoke is being popped out. We're looking for someone who's trying to get in position. It could be the Tidehunter. It might be the Windrunner. Dendy pulling himself too far forward, but there's no disruption to come in. The Treant's being sent out to scout as well, and they are going to take this opportunity. Where the hell did Windrunner go, actually? Oh, went from behind. The turnaround, everything is safe. The smoke is still up. Looks like they want to come from behind. However, it's not going to be good positioning for the team of Fnatic if they try and engage from this position. However, there are 2 here. We could go for a little bit of a sandwich. Tinker getting awfully low, and this tower is going to take a fall. Is the deny going to happen? It will not indeed. Nature's Prophet securing the kill there on the tower. However, we're coming in to Purge to land on the Tidehunter. The Curse to follow as well. The Pulse Nova doing so much damage, and the Edict, the Split Earth to pick up a kill right there. Tidehunter takes a fall, and that is so unfortunate because he had the Ravage up, and now Fnatic can engage. They know that the Tidehunter is going to be dead for the next 30 seconds. This is our opportunity to push towers and to initiate team fights, because without that Ravage, we're better in the team fights, for lack of a better term, for lack of a more eloquent description. You can see level 4 Edict doing so much damage to the tier 1 tower, drops like a stone, falling at terminal velocity, or maybe traveling at the speed of light, launched out of some sort of cannon type thing. I have no idea where I was going with that. Dendy revealing off her position, but popping an invisibility rune almost immediately. I'm gonna hope none of them have vision, some sort of detection, and indeed, none of them have. This will allow them to get a kill on the Queen of Pain. Scouting her out, the bear is moving in, Shackle to come, fantastic Shackle to come through, Power Shot to fall, and the bear's gonna come in, one click, trying to blink away, run right click from falling, Venomous Gale to come in, or rather the Plague Wall to come in, and he is going to escape. The bear currently giving the chase. Radiant's already in hand for the bear. It might be enough, trying to force staff to safety, and I don't think they're going to be able to pick up the kill, but the bear is still chasing, being forced to teleport back, however, and they will not pick up the kill on that Queen of Pain. I guess that's what happens when you have that many last hits. You get a Radiance that, well, pretty friggin' fast. Should have been monitoring that bear's gold just that little bit better. In the meantime, Smoke Gank coming out for the ganking duo of Leshrac and Shadow Demon, making our way towards the top, and in we have a Rogue Poppy who's going to find himself very dead in the next couple of moments. Also working his way towards a Mechanism. He's dead. He is dead. Moving into the trees, he sees the danger. Is he going to try and teleport out? I don't think it's going to happen. Pulse Nova as well as the Edict doing too much damage. The Curse is down. The Split Earth takes the kill. Another easy kill being secured on Team Na'Vi by the team of Fnatic. And this is very problematic, because Na'Vi's composition is all about, well, what they're doing now. Early pushing, early power. But when Fnatic are pulling out ahead towards the early stages of the game, it's going to be very difficult for Na'Vi to capitalize on the advantage that their team composition has. Taking a look at the items, Lone Druid, what is he working towards next? I'm not exactly sure. Vlad's, no idea. Tidehunter getting very close to that Veil of Hood of Defiance, rather, which he will, of course, turn into a pipe. Windrunner almost securing herself a 4-staff. Venomancer not having all that much, but it doesn't matter in the slightest. In the meantime, the team of Fnatic are trying to push out this top lane and taking a gander over at the Nature's Prophet. He has secured himself. Actually, he's just about 80 gold off that mechanism, which he, after that couple of right clicks, couple of last hits, not there yet, but he'll almost have a mechanism in hand. And for the next team fight, that will be fantastic for Na'Vi, especially if they can initiate with a fantastic Ravage to come in from the Tidehunter. Taking a look over at the team of Fnatic, we have Leshrac looking like is possibly going towards either a BKB or an Aghanims. We'll have to wait and see. Somewhat surprised not going for a Bloodstone. Maybe he might just be getting the Ogre Club for the bit of extra survivability, and then from that he's going to go into a Bloodstone. Tinker, of course, having boots, 4-staff, Soul Ring, and 2,500 in the bank. He's doing very nicely in the farm department. SD has nothing, but we don't need to worry about him, and of course we've seen the mech being used in a fight beforehand, being in the Enigma. But in the meantime, engagements, and Tinker just barely getting caught out, TPing out just at the right time. This is going to be a very easy tower for the team of Na'Vi to take down. Reinforcements are rolling in, but very nice placement of the illusions here. Going to catch out this Enigma that's moving in from the sideline, being spotted out. He backs off as soon as he realizes that he's caught. Shaka going down, doesn't latch to an enemy, however. Malphite stunned to land on the bear, going to back off. The Split Earth to follow. The rockets being flown out as well, doing a little bit of damage. Fortification's going to drop, but it's not going to be enough, and Na'Vi are going to be easily securing this T1 tower. However, Fnatic don't want to let them get it too easy. They're moving in already, but the tower does take a fall. They can't get the deny, and they can't engage in a team fight. Na'Vi have achieved a little victory at this moment, ladies and gentlemen. And I love the use of the illusions. You see a lot of people, I've even seen people that just don't really utilize these illusions that well, but I absolutely love what they're doing with this, what Dendy is doing this. Using the illusions to scout out, detect any either early dangers or possible easy kills. Need to make sure to move the camera while I replenish myself with delicious tea. Green tea, as it were. But enough of that. We must speak about the game. And looking over at Enigma, it looks like he's going to work his way towards a BKB. Now this is going to be, well, needless to say, a little bit problematic for the team of Na'Vi, due to the fact that all of a sudden Black Hole is a whole lot less stoppable. No stuns will be able to take it out. I'm not sure if the Ravage actually goes through BKB. I think it might, but I'm not entirely sure on that. I should know this, but alas, I don't. I'll simply look it up on the wiki after this game, and then I'll know, and the mistake will never be had ever again. Yes, indeed, it's amazing how that works. But both sides playing relatively safe. We can see Fnatic looking around. Looks like they want to see if they can pick up an easy kill. However, I don't think it's going to happen. Tinker returning to the top, pushing these lanes out continuously. However, we have the Lone Druid here providing plenty of counter-pushing action. Radiant Spare. Yeah, it just kills. It melts the creep waves, especially towards the relatively early stages of the game. Now we hear the sounds of dead air. We see Venomancer preparing a nice little army of Plague Worms in the meantime. I'm going to use the Venomous Gale to help clear out this creep wave. Lots of counter push to come out of him. In the meantime, I think Fnatic... I need to stop saying in the meantime, don't I? But nevertheless, in the meantime, we're going to see Fnatic take down Roshan. And I don't think Na'Vi are aware of this at all. However, they probably will suspect such an act is under occurrence when suddenly the entire team of Fnatic are nowhere. But are they going to be able to find out in time? They don't really have a particularly large amount of damage. Roshan isn't falling at a very rapid rate at all. And I think Na'Vi might know something's up. In fact, they definitely do. The train's being sent here. They're going to no doubt see the Roshan's being taken down, but it might be too late. Actually, it might not be. The Edict doing a nice chunk of damage to the incorrectly named Tornado. And are the team of Dendy going to press, team of Na'Vi rather, going to press the issue? I'm not sure if they can. Roshan being secured by the team of Fnatic and the Aegis of Immortality being grabbed and picked up by the Leshrac. He's also worked his way towards the BKB. So he's going to be pretty difficult to take down. That, of course, Roshan kill, bringing him over the edge and allowing him to pick up that BKB. And how will Na'Vi proceed from this moment onwards? They have to be careful about engagement because that Leshrac, who's capable of dishing massive amounts of damage, is suddenly going to be, well, he's not only going to be difficult to kill with the BKB, we're currently going on Poppy. Rock is going to fly out. Does he have the damage he needs to take him down? I think he's just mech charges up and he's easily going to TP out to safety. He's gone, Tinker. But I think what Na'Vi might want to do is they want to try and pick off any lone heroes. Going in a head-on engagement would be unwise. Because we have the BKB, it makes Leshrac very difficult to kill. And then after you kill him, in the meantime, Shackle to land on the Enigma there. I didn't even need to say anything. Entangle to follow, and he died a horrible death. Speaking of, this is what Na'Vi needs to do. Them being Na'Vi, they immediately go do it. They're picking up kills without the rest of the team being there, because they can't take Fnatic on in a whole team fight because of that Aegis. But with them being one member down, it might be that little bit more manageable. The team of Na'Vi going to press the issue, Dendi doing, or rather, the team are doing a little bit of harassment, popping off those rockets, continuing to pop off those rockets. A little bit of lag here and there, we'll all deal with it. Shadow Demon might get caught out, the Leshrac could get caught out too. Split Earth to go down, going to stop the Lone Druid in his tracks. Is the damage going to be enough? I don't know. Leshrac being entangled up, Power Shot to follow through. A few more right clicks will take him down. The Aegis charge easily used up right then, and I think Na'Vi might take this as a little victory, or maybe they're going to keep pressing the issue. Nice Entangle to come down, or rather nice Ravage to come down. Leshrac going to take another full screen to go through, but the pipe absorbing every single bit of damage of that ulti to coming from the Queen of Pain, and the Leshrac just barely escapes out of there. Lucky day for him. But despite the fact that they didn't get as many kills as they could have, that engagement was pretty much perfect for the team of Na'Vi. They used up the Aegis, they forced Fnatic back, and they also picked up a kill a little bit earlier on. And now they're going to be able to engage in the next team fight because they've used up that Aegis. Did we see the BKB? Yeah, BKB was indeed used, and they also know that Leshrac has a BKB, so they have to be that little bit more careful. But this is going to get... I mean, Na'Vi pretty much did exactly what they had to do with the current situation that they were placed in.
Perpetual motion.
Yes, indeed, a Tinker. Just once again, taking a look at all the items, I always forget that we can just press F5 and have a look. A Blink Dagger for... I don't think I've ever seen that used before, Blink Dagger on a Windrunner, but I can see how that would work, because you wait until two heroes are close by, or heroes just in a little bit caught out, and instead of running up to them and giving them the heads up, hey, I'm going to try and kill you, you blink in and you shackle immediately, and then all of a sudden they're not going anywhere, and, well, they're probably dead. So it might seem strange, I don't think I've ever actually seen that before, but I can see how it would work out quite nicely. Taking a look at the rest of the items, isn't this an interesting screen? We can see Tinker's very close to having that sheet stick, and the sheet stick's definitely going to help out in the team fight, especially remember the fact that he actually has enough of that sheet stick, just needs to go to the secret shop and pick up that Void Stone. But the thing we need to... Go away, shop. The thing we need to remember about okay, screw everything, we have engagements about to happen over this bottom lane. Leshrac moving in, doing a bit of damage with a Pulse Nova. His mana being brought relatively low. You see, here's a problem with going a BKB instead of a Bloodstone. You're not going to be spamming many spells. He uses Pulse Nova a couple of times, being 4-star forward, using that BKB. Split Earth to come down, picking up two of the heroes, and the Pulse Nova and the Edict doing loads of damage, but the pipe has been dealt, the mech charge has dropped as well, and a lot of the damage is being absorbed by the team of Na'Vi. Fnatic forced to retreat, popping off several cooldowns. BKB was used, and Na'Vi handled that perfectly. I don't think Fnatic expected the pipe to go off and then to absorb so much damage. If it weren't for that pipe and the mech, the team of Na'Vi wouldn't be so happy. In the meantime, Sheepstick to go down on Poppy, and the Nature's Prophet is going to take a fall. One right click away from death. The rockets are going to finish the kill right here. 4-staff is not enough, but it was very nice done. He did everything he needed to do. 4-staffing down off the edge. That would have been an easy escape if it weren't for those rockets. In the meantime, I need to stop saying in the meantime because, well, we need to think of some new words, don't we? We can't just say the same old words over and over again. We have to deviate from the standard formula. We have to be creative and dynamic with our word choices, indeed. And both teams on opposite sides of the map. As of this very moment, we can see Fnatic all the way up north with Na'Vi down south. And we're going to put... I almost said in the meantime again. We're going to push this bottom tier 2 tower, try and get a little bit of revenge. You try and take our tier 2 tower? Well, we're going to stick it right back to you, press the issue, and try and secure it. However, reinforcements are already arriving in, but there is far more of Na'Vi than there are of Fnatic. And they could just push forward and possibly kill this Tinker. But they're playing it safe. They don't know where the rest of Fnatic is, so being a little bit cautious is probably a wise idea. The bear moving in, and look at the damage. The tower's HP just dropping. Split Earth to come in, Shackle to come out. Does it latch? It does not indeed. The curse landed, but a nice Ravage to come in from the Tide Hunter, and he has to back off. The pipe's being dropped off as well. A lot of damage coming from the Leshrac. They can't stop him because of the BKB. Split Earth to land on the Tide Hunter. The mech charge has gone out once again, and the Leshrac is now forced to back off. He's out of mana. No Bloodstone, so he runs out of mana very quickly. Nice Shackle to come in. The mech charge being used for the team of Fnatic, and now the Na'Vi are in sort of split apart, and they're now trying to run away from potential death. The damage from them is not enough. Blink to screen to ulti, and the Nature's Prophet pops instantly, trying to get an entangle on there with the bear. Deadly now running for his life. Venomats are trying to TP out, but the damage is too much, and now Fnatic pick up another kill on the team of Na'Vi. Not the best of engagement, but they did really good thus far. I mean, they did pretty good, but then I don't know, it all sort of fell apart. Okay, saying everything wrong. What I'm trying to say is they pretty much did as best as they possibly could in that situation, but they just didn't have enough heal, they didn't have enough defense, and they didn't have enough attack. And I don't think they were prepared for the Leshrac and the BKB. If it weren't for him, they probably wouldn't have taken so much damage. I mean, that sort of goes without saying. The Pulse Nova, the Edict, the Lightning Storm, the Split Earth, all with the fact that you can't stop it, is pretty horrible to deal with. Meantime, Lone Druid securing himself on a Tinker somewhere in some lane over at the top, but in the meantime, the tier 2 tower is going to take a fall. The team of Fnatic are pushing down on it hard. Mech charge to go out, reinforce a creep wave, and it's an easy tier 2 tower for them. Is it a worthy trade? They got a kill on their Tinker, which means that whatever item he goes towards, it's going to take longer for him, and it also means that Sheep Stick, they're not going to have to worry about repeated Sheep Sticks in the next team fight. And last but by no means least, it means that Bastard isn't perpetually pushing every single lane in the game, and the team of Na'Vi can finally relax for a bit. In the meantime, Poison Strike to land here on the Nature's Prophet. Puppey going to try and teleport his way to safety, and the Shrac's just a bit too far away. No way he was going to get the Split Earth off in time. I'm not sure if he even had the mana. Of course, no Bloodstone, no mana. Also, having no charges left on that on the Drums of Endurance, which is downright unfortunate. In the meantime, the team of Na'Vi trying to move in position. Dendi moving in, waiting for his teammates to come back and reinforce. But Queen of Pain rapidly blinking out to safety. The team of Na'Vi looks like they really want to take down this tier 2 tower. In fact, it's very low. It's just barely out of deny range. I believe 160 HP is in deny range. That is just barely out of deny range, and I bet Fnatic feeling not so happy about it. In the meantime, Sheep to land on the Nature's Prophet, lasers to follow. The rockets hit him before. March of the Machine a bit out of range, and Tinker doesn't want to commit to this kill because they don't know where the rest of the team of Na'Vi are, and it seems they want to rotate. I think since they saw the Tinker over at the top, they think, let's try and kill the Tinker instead of pushing this bottom lane, or maybe try and trick the team of Fnatic to gather at the bottom lane, and we'll use the opportunity to kill the Tinker. However, the Tinker, he is not a unwise Tinker. He's wise enough to realize that danger could be afoot. He backs off. Double damage to be secured here by the Windrunner. I almost said in the meantime again, but I must not say it. Na'Vi pushing out this bottom lane, and Fnatic, or rather, let's try that again. Fnatic pushing out this bottom lane, and Na'Vi pushing the top. Again, we still have several tier 2 towers for the team of Fnatic still standing. Na'Vi, without a doubt, hungry to secure any of these towers. And we take a look at the last hits. We're 30 minutes into the game, 180, 197. We're doing great in the last hit department for the team of Na'Vi, but 200 last hits and 160 for the team of Fnatic. They're doing a very nice job, and this is tier 2 tower over the bottom lane. Is going to take a fall if reinforcements don't roll in. Looking at the goal, only a 1k advantage for the team of Fnatic, with a little bit more than a 2.5k advantage in the XP department. Defense has rolled in very rapidly, and this tier 2 tower will be absolutely safe. The team of Fnatic backing off at the appropriate time. Make sure they do not get themselves killed. Dendi also echoing that statement, backing off before death rolls in. They've pushed this tower forward a little bit, and now that the entire team of Fnatic is at top, let's see if we can push this bottom lane fast enough and take down this tier 2 that still refuses to budge. However, there's a lot of force and it's been scattered out with the tree. It's using the Pulse Nova, which was curious. Oh, it's because we have the regeneration rune. And I'm somewhat surprised Fnatic aren't attempting, or rather Na'Vi aren't attempting to take down this Leshrac. But it seems, actually, let's take this opportunity to take down this tier 2 tower. This will be an easy takedown, and we could even push our way towards a tier 3, depending on how Fnatic responds. And it looks like they are coming in to defend. They rapidly responding to that, actually. Tinker, as well as the Shadow Demon, are here. Poison Nova being used to scout out that little bit ahead. Shadow Poison being used, rather. Fortification could go down, and it is now in deny range. Are they going to get it? I don't think so. Lone Druid taking the last hit right there, but in the meantime, the tier 2 tower over the top lane has taken, so a little bit of a trade going down here. And if Na'Vi don't come in to reinforce, their tier 3 tower is going to find themselves in some trouble, but I think they want to go for a trade. In the meantime, Shadow Demon takes a fall over here at the bottom lane, and it looks like they want to keep pushing themselves forward, try and take this tier 3. However, if Na'Vi don't come to defend, this tier 1, tier 3 tower over at their top is going to find it to take a little bit of damage. But I think they're going to settle with Roshan instead. And I think Fnatic are well aware of this, and they don't want to let them get their hands on the Roshan and that delicious Aegis Immortality. But it's too late. Split Earth to come in, do a bit of damage, and the Radiant secures that delicious Rattan with the Aegis of the Immortal being picked up by the Lone Druid. Now this is great for Na'Vi because all of a sudden, Lone Druid's difficult enough to kill already. 2k HP with a fire, the regen's not that great, but he has a good chunk of health points. Now you have to kill him twice. You have to burn 4k HP, and he's also working his way towards an Assault Curious. He has a Skull Basher, curiously enough. I don't think I've seen that being built on Lone Druid all that much. Has a Skull Basher, will have an Assault Curious, and will be difficult to kill. Who's going to engage first? Are Na'Vi going to immediately capitalize on this Aegis that they've achieved? I think they want to work their way towards that Assault Curious, maybe a couple more items for all members of the team, and then they'll try and initiate and engage and push down some towers. Nature's Prophet, having close to 2k on the bank, looks like he's going to be working his way towards a Sheepstick. TP coming in from the Tinker, being a little bit cheeky and just being used to scare him out. Once again, Dendi using these illusions as best as he possibly can, using them to scout ahead, check for any potential dangers or easy ganks. And it looks like speaking of easy ganks, Leshrac could find himself caught out. Still no Bloodstone, 2.7k in the bank, thinking long and hard about what he wants to pick up next. He really needs something to give him mana regen, because he's spending all of his time with little to no mana. I love the positioning to come in from Windrunner. We're hiding in the side so Windrunner can immediately blink in, then get off a shackle. Rockets coming in, doing a nice little bit of damage. Continuing repeated barrage of rockets. Windrunner being used, Windrunner illusions rather, excuse me, being used to scout the land ahead, and the tier 2 tower over the top takes an easy fall. Fnatic not contesting it at all, just letting them take it. But of course, Fnatic can't exactly just walk up and engage. We have to worry about the Aegis, we have to worry about that Ravage. If we're going to try and engage with Na'Vi, we need to make sure we've got superior positioning. It's interesting how the tides have turned. Beforehand, Na'Vi were the ones that had to get that perfect positioning and wait for Fnatic to do something a little bit silly, maybe leave some member out away from the pack. And the Shadow Demon could find himself very dead, but he's a lucky individual indeed. Going to pick himself up a haste rune, and with no one spotting him, is going to easily escape his way to safety. Bottom lane has a nice amount of momentum, but Venomance will easily be able to clean that up. For some reason, there's an item here on the ground, can't quite see what it is, just an Iron Branch. Standard. Orchid Malevolence being secured now by the Windrunner. And the Orchid is actually a really friggin' good pickup, because there are several heroes that are very reliant on their spells, such as Leshrac or Queen of Pain. Even the Enigma, so he can't get the Malefice, can't get the Black Hole, or the Shadow Demon, so he can't Disrupt, can't Purge, can't Curse. Meanwhile, Nature's Prophet continuing to push out this top lane, giving it a nice chunk of momentum with the treants and just some right-click damage. And he knows that he's safe because several members of Fnatic, well, they're not at the top, they're down at the bottom. So he can continue to push his way to safety, push his way to great victory rather, while remaining relatively safe. And he's secured himself the Scythe of Vice. Spirit Bear finally has that Assault Curious in hand as well. Looking over at Queen of Pain, working her way towards a delicious Scythe of Vice. The Tinker, working his way towards a Bloodstone? Well, I don't know what to say to that, to be honest. I mean, I guess I guess this allows him to start spamming out Scythe of Ice, spamming out all of his spells without returning to the fountain. But it's a big investment for something that your skills inherently give you. Of course, you just go back to the fountain and return, you've got full mana. But I guess one thing it allows him to do is stay in the battle more, because if he gets charges on that Bloodstone, which he no doubt will do, he'll be able to respawn relatively quickly, but Tinker should be able to simply buy back. He's a type of character that will be spending a lot of his time farming. He will thus have a lot of reserve gold, and can just buy back as soon as he dies. And the Shrek, getting a Scythe of Ice, getting scattered out by the treants as well. Scythe of Ice is going to be a nice pickup for him. I think a Bloodstone would have been... I just still think a Bloodstone... I mean, the Scythe of Ice is still going to give him a bit of regen. Bloodstone would give him a lot more, but Scythe of Ice is still pretty solid for him nonetheless. Have I covered everyone in the item department? I don't think I've looked at Enigma. Indeed, has that BKB, 2,000 in the bank. I'm thinking he might be going towards a Blink Dagger next to get the perfect initiation, and hopefully initiate before the Tidehunter can, with, of course, that Ravage. However, the Tidehunter does also have a Blink Dagger, which will allow him to easily get in the perfect position should Fnatic present such a situation to them. You know, they're all grouped up, Blink, bloody Ravage, and perfect engagement for Na'Vi. Smoke Gank coming in for the team of Na'Vi, for team of Fnatic rather. However, there's no one here to be killed. We just have a Venomancer who's staying back at the tower, not unwise enough to push himself that far forward. And neither side really committing. I'm very surprised Na'Vi aren't pressing the issue just that little bit more, considering they have the Aegis of the Immortal. But alas, playing it safe is never a bad idea. I think what they're waiting for is Fnatic to get out of position, such as how they are now. Right now, Shadow Demon, if he gets caught out, he's dead. Power Shot coming through, not in the right position. We're just going to do a little bit of farming, not scouting out ahead for heroes. And Shadow Demon, realizing that he's in such a bad situation, let's back the hell off. In the meantime, I need to stop saying that, don't I? In the meantime, we have Enigma securing himself that glorious Blink Dagger. And it's obvious Na'Vi are waiting for another item before they engage, but what are they going for exactly? I feel like they have everything they could possibly need for pretty much the perfect engagement. But it's entirely possible again, as I mentioned before, they're just waiting for Fnatic to pull themselves out of position. And if they do a little bit of scouting, they could easily find a couple of very dead members of Fnatic. Of course, Fnatic are spending a lot of their time split up. Na'Vi are not, they're grouping together. The only time they split up are either when Fnatic are away, very far away, and in no position to do any damage, or they'll split up in a safe area. For example, you have Venomancer staying near this tower here. He's not going to die near the tower. Well, he can if they tower dive, but you'd have to have a large member of Fnatic. In the meantime, someone's getting caught out. Puppy getting caught out indeed. Split Earth to land on him, and he rapidly takes a fall. Speaking of people getting caught out, Na'Vi, who I'm saying we're waiting for the blink, but the BKB coming in just in time. But the right-click damage is a lot of right-click damage to be coming out of the Windrun. I bet they weren't expecting that. Split Earth to come down, Poison Over come down, as well as a Hex. And the Venomancer rapidly takes a fall. Didn't expect that amount of damage, but the Shrek is so low. Power Shot to come through, and it picks up the kill. Very nice cleanup by the Dendy. Furion teleporting back in. Sheepstick to land on the Queen of Pain. The Shackle coming thing. The Blink, but the Shackle doesn't latch. The Poison Over is on her, however, but it just wore off. She's going to get away. Malphite stun. Oh, wait, they're on the same team. Never mind. Queen of Pain just barely is scratching herself out of that. And that wasn't too bad. Na'Vi bringing that back. Of course, Nature's Prophet buying back, teleporting straight back into the fight, and now pressing the issue as hard as possible. In the meantime, Shackle, as well as that delicious Orc and Malevolence being brought down, teleporting to the front lines. Puppy did indeed, taking a rocket just then, but 3 members of Team Fnatic have fallen, and Na'Vi, that sort of breaks them even, because they had 2 deaths, and they had a buyback, so getting 3 kills, they've pretty much... I'm trying to think of the word. They've pretty much broke even from that regard. Possibly pushing themselves just that little bit further ahead, because the entire team of Na'Vi is up, while Fnatic are not. And that means that Na'Vi can push, they can take a tower, they can possibly take a barracks, and there's little that Fnatic can do about it. You can see the bear just beating on the tower. Look at the damage just drop. Every single hit from that bear is just painful for that poor tower. Fnatic have done a bit of damage. They've decided to back off. This is a good idea. You don't want to overcommit when you've pulled yourselves ahead. You remember, you want to keep an advantage as an advantage, not allow the opposing team an opportunity to turn it into your disadvantage. Well, that was iconic, wasn't it? I should like write things in a book. People will be like, wow, that's amazing. But enough of any of that. In the meantime, over at the top, being caught out, Poppy is once again the Tinker going in. The Hex is landed on him, laser to follow, and the Rocket. A lot of damage being dealt. Just ring around the Rosie going on right now, trying to force stuff into safety. And the opposing Hex is just enough to allow him to teleport out. Counter Hex coming out from the Prophet, ladies and gentlemen. Very nicely done by Poppy. Perfect time to force stuff. Perfect time to juke and ring around the Rosie around the tree. That was very nicely done. Double damage to be secured here by Dendi, and this is going to be very painful. Demon Edge. What is he working himself towards? I'm thinking like, I don't know. Shackle to come in, no TP for you, and the Orchid Malevolence means no rearm, but he doesn't have the mana anyway. Ulti's being popped off, using Power Shot to clear out the trees, but I think the juking is just too strong with this one. Winona realizing that she really back off before the reinforcements roll in, which they are indeed doing. Tinker's still panicking like hell. In the meantime, it seems several members have taken a fall. Dangerous Prophet taking a fall down the bottom lane, and same can be said for the Shadow Demon. I think he may have died earlier. Got to pay attention to that minimap, ladies and gentlemen. Queen of Pain just narrowly escaping death as well. Dendi blinking in, but the blink, opposing blink, the counter blink, ladies and gentlemen, arriving just in time. Tinker coming in as well. This could be bad. Forced off the Sheep Stick to come in, and the blink to scream, as well as the Poison Strike to come in. Another Sheep Stick to land, and a gank has turned into a death for Dendi. Another easy pickup for the team of Fnatic. Taking a gander over at the gold, considerably, holy crap, closing in on a 6k advantage for the team of Na'Vi. Taking a look at the XP, just a little bit less than 2.5k advantage for them. So despite being behind in 8 kills, and the towers being relatively even, with the exception of one there, considerably ahead in gold, considerably ahead in experience, well, slightly ahead in experience. However, this might be exactly what Fnatic need indeed. They've been winning pretty successfully in the last couple of fights, but having an Aegis of the Immortal under their sleeves will be exactly what they need. I'm so surprised we didn't see that utilized. We didn't see them push out. We didn't see the Lone Druid push out while he had that Aegis. And it felt very strange. I feel they wasted a huge opportunity there, and now they're going to pay for it because Fnatic are going to now have the Aegis this time, and they're going to use it. I don't think... Yeah, I'd say that they're going to use it. Tinker's securing himself that Aegis of the Immortal. And Na'Vi now better watch out. Fnatic have a wonderful opportunity. Oh, and this was the third time Roshan fell as well. So Leshrac picking himself up the cheese. As if, I mean, now the AoE damage from him is just even going to be more numerous. And it's going to be more difficult to kill. You bring his mana low, you bring his health low. Eat cheese, back to full health, ladies and gentlemen. But the team of Na'Vi looks like they want to come in from the behind. They're going to catch out the Enigma. However, the rest of the team is here. And it's a Lone Druid getting caught out. Maleficent starting to come down. But the Entangle to come in there on the Leshrac. BKB being popped up. So much right-click damage come out of that bear. Nice Ravage to come in from the Tidehunter. But the Black Hole picking up 2 members of Na'Vi. But right-clicking down that Enigma. He's going to fall. Entangle landing on him as well. Disruption to fall down on the Shadow Demon to try and save his skin. Is it going to be enough? The bear comes in entangled with 1 right-click. And the Radiance finishes him off. Force-offing into position. And Furin thinking of TPing in, but in the end deciding to cancel. That was a fantastic engagement for the team of Fnatic. But Earth to move in, Blink to gush, as well as the Anchor Smash to come in. Leshrac being brought to half HP already, and his cheese has been used up too. But retreating off as soon as the Diabolic Edict damage comes in and that Pulse Nova, it's a lot of damage to be had. Rockets flying out, going to do a nice chunk of damage. The bear getting relatively low on health. Tidehunter too, but the mech will be up in no time. Blink to Hex to split Earth to Power Shot. So much damage being dealt. The Queen just barely blinking herself to safety, but the Enigma, same cannot be said for the Leshrac, sorry, with him taking a fall. Pipe Charge being used up for the team of Na'Vi. And they're just... I don't even know what to say. They did a fantastic job these last couple of battles, not losing a single member, and despite going up against a team with an Aegis, with a delicious piece of cheese, they've managed to secure themselves a very easy victory. And now they're not going to continue to push through this tier 3 tower and through to the barracks. They're going to give the bottom lane, give the middle lane, and give the top lane some momentum, and hopefully let the creeps do the work for them. Regeneration Rune is going to be secured. It is indeed. Also having that glorious Aghanim Scepter in hand for the Queen of Pain. They just profit 5,200 in the bank. Not sure what he wants to work towards next. Dendi having 1,800 in the bank, having that Demon Edge. Not sure exactly what exactly Dendi is going to want to go for. Again, I haven't seen semi-carry Windrunner very much, so I'm not sure exactly what item build you go for. Demon, I mean, do you go for, you want to go for crits? Do you go, I assume it's going to go for a Monkey King. Monkey King seems like it'd be a pretty solid pickup. Queen of Pain going to get scattered out by that Treant. I hear lots of 4-staffs going out as well. Are they Yules? No, for some reason I thought I saw a Yule Scepter. Shadow Demon looks like he's working his way towards a delicious 4-staff. 3,400 in the bank. BKB on the Lone Druid as we saw before. Not sure what his next item of choice is going to be. Could potentially get himself a Hood of Defiance for even more spell resistance. But we do have the pipe. So we've already got good innate resistance to the spells to come out of Team Fnatic. And I love the fact that right now, Na'Vi is sticking together. They're not breaking apart, because if there were 1, 2, maybe 3 heroes and someone was jungling, they'd be dead. And those are ways, finding out lone heroes to kill are ways that teams pull themselves out of bad situations. We've seen it time and time again where a team falls behind, but they manage to get back because they take advantage of the positioning that the other team is in. They find a hero that's not grouped up with the rest, and then they kill him. And then they use the fact that it's 4 versus 5 and move on to an engagement. But Na'Vi is smart, they're sticking together. And you can see Fnatic, they're scattered around the place. But Na'Vi, they're sticking together very, very, very tight. They're not giving the other team any openings, and this is fantastic. If Na'Vi wanted to rotate to top, they could find themselves an easy kill on the Shadow Demon and an easy kill on the Queen of Pain, because they're split apart like that. And what are they going to do? They know 2 members are not going to be here to defend, but it could be an easy kill on these 2 members. Maybe you would kill them and there would be 2 members that can't defend at all. Like, it's not like a matter of them TPing back, they're dead. They would have to spend money, they would have to expend resources and money for potential items in order to return back to the game to defend their tier 3. It looks to me like they are indeed going to go for them. However, the wise individuals indeed, both of them teleporting out to safety. Queen of Pain still sticking around, however, deciding, actually, no, I'm going to leave. Dendi securing himself a delicious rune of invisibility. Going to scout out ahead. Do we have any form of detection to come out of the team of Fnatic? I don't believe we do. So he's going to be able to just look and see exactly where every one of Team Fnatic are, and maybe help out their team getting in the right position to get a nice kill. Actually, I swear I saw a gem on someone. Actually, I think it was just on the Venomancer. Yes, indeed. Gem on the Venomancer. And Shiver's Guard in hand for the Tinker. This is going to allow him to do an awful lot more pushing, because on top of the March of the Machines, he now has a Shivers, and the cooldown for it, of course, resets with that rearm ability. The Shrek, not sure what he's working towards next. No clue at all, in all honesty. Looking over the Enigma 2k in the bank, and there's plenty available for him to get. I noticed Fnatic, all of Fnatic, none of them have any form of, none of them have a pipe. And while the damage out of Na'Vi isn't massive spell damage, it would still be helpful to have, especially with Fnatic having pretty much everything they need, I feel. Well, they've got a lot of nice items thus far. And it looks like Fnatic are moving in for a kill. Smoke of Deceit has been popped off. Are they going to catch out? Hex to land here on the Spirit Bear. Very nice to use to send it out ahead. Fantastic split earth to come down there. And are they going to be able to catch the little Shrek? He's silenced. He cannot BKB. He's been hexed out right now. And the right click damage makes him drop like an absolute stone. And they're not done with that. They continue moving in. Blink to Shackle, but the Shackle doesn't latch. And 4-staffing off the edge here. Not deciding to teleport in, with the Queen teleporting out to safety as well. I think that was a Shadow Demon actually. So Fnatic responding to that beautifully actually. That could have ended absolutely disastrously, but they managed to only lose 1 member to it. There were many more kills that could have been had by the team of Na'Vi just then. And how are they going to proceed from this situation? We have a Tinker here. We have, again, the team of Fnatic splitting up, not particularly sticking together. I think because we're all here, Na'Vi are just going to push down this bottom lane and try and secure this tier 3 tower. But reinforcements are already rolling in, but they are 1 member down, and there's 30 seconds left before he respawns. Na'Vi want to capitalize on that opportunity as much as possible. Screen coming in, just wiping out the creep wave, not doing any damage to the heroes, but we must remember 40-second cooldown with that Aghanim Scepter. It isn't too much of a problem if that cooldown goes down, and it seems the team of Na'Vi are going to back off. They've forced the entire team of Fnatic here. How long's Roshan? Roshan's not going to be up for a while. Syndron is really happy about something, not sure why. Hugo is not happy at all. He's just mad as hell. And Versuta, I don't know how to say it. He's at a relatively happy state as well. Or something. I don't even know. The team of Na'Vi backing off, deciding to not continue to push down this bottom tower with the entire team of Fnatic here to defend. Not quite capitalizing on the opportunity that was just presented to them in the form of that delicious 30 seconds until the Fnatic, until the Shrek returns to the game. And how to proceed from this point out, I'm not sure if this is the wisest of ideas. The thing we need to remember, I've said this before, is Fnatic falls off, Na'Vi falls off towards the more later stages of the game. In the meantime, Puffy's perfectly fine. Teleporting is way out to safety. Actually, the Hex came in. He is not fine at all. He's silenced. In comes the Scream, blinking in as well, and another Hex to land with the laser picking up the final kill on the Nature's Prophet. Very nice, Tinker. Very nicely done by Fnatic, picking up kills where they need to, doing what they need to do to push themselves a little bit further ahead. And Nature's Prophet's been getting caught out repeatedly. Looking at his deaths, we can see he's all the way at 9 deaths. Almost doubling the next person who's got a large amount of deaths in the form of that Venomancer. Wow, I said that very ineloquently, didn't I? But nevertheless, back to what I was saying, I feel Na'Vi should really be pushing more, should really be pressuring more, because Na'Vi's composition tends to fall off towards the later stages of the game, and we're currently about to transitioning into the later stages of the game. But we'll have to wait and see how it all unfolds. Currently, Fnatic are pressing the issue. We're going on this tier 3 tower over at the top, and it looks like it is going to take down Edict, doing a nice chunk of damage. A nice shackle to come in from the Dendi, and now they're going to use this to initiate disruption to come down. The Bear moving in, BKB has been popped off, and the team of Fnatic are looking to retreat. They've done a bit of damage, and it looks like they're just going to back off. Spirit Bear going to take a fall, is going to get recreated. Easy peasy. Nice little defense from Na'Vi, and a nice little offense from Fnatic in the meantime. Oh, I said it again. This bottom tower is taking some damage, but we rapidly poured in. Lightning Storm, Pulse Nova, Edict, Shiva's Guard, and the March of the Machines rapidly clears up that creep wave. And Puppy better be careful, doesn't want to get caught out again. Actually picking himself up a Daedalus. And look at the crits, 700 crits to come in from that Nature's Prophet. This is some pain to deal with. And still another 2,400 in the bank. He can buy whatever the hell he wants. Heaven's Halberd being secured by the Lone Druid. And on the Bear we have... Ooh, Demon Edge. What could this be worked into? Possibly some delicious crits? Maybe they even want to go full crazy and pick themselves up a Rapier. And MKB indeed being secured here by Dendi. Looking over at the Tide. Looks like he's going towards a Shivas indeed. He's going to have... yeah, Tide getting Shivers, understandable. Ravage and Shivers, they work together nicely. Looking at the Queen of Pain, we have actually nothing more but 3,500 in the bank. Looking at the Enigma, again, 3,000 in the bank, not picking up any new items, however. They've had the same items, in fact, the last 3 or so times that I've had a look at them. Shadow Demon still not securing himself up that 4-star for the extra safety. Na'Vi are going to take down this Roshan. However, Fnatic are not going to let them get that so easily. They're moving in to try and engage. With everyone grouped together like this, a black hole would be pretty friggin' painful. In fact, if they get all caught out by a black hole, it could be GG, because they wouldn't be able to come back in time. But they see that death is approaching, and they rapidly retreat. Again, nice placement by the wards here by the Tinker, scouting out whatever death awaits them, allowing to retreat before they get killed by a black hole. I have a feeling that Roshan is whoever wins this next team fight, whoever takes down Roshan is going to win. In fact, they probably won't even take down Roshan. They'll probably just go and freaking kill them. Because if they're all dead, it means they can't defend, needless to say, and most of them don't have buyback money. One thing I feel that's a little silly right now by Fnatic is a lot of them have gold, but they're not spending it. And I have no idea why this is. The last 3 or so times I've checked their items, they've had the same items. They've had plenty in the bank, but they haven't purchased themselves any more items. Meanwhile, Na'Vi is still continuing to purchase items. They're continuing to farm. They've got stuff, for lack of a better term. And they're not giving up on Roshan just yet. Both teams want it. Fnatic, however, I really love what Fnatic are doing at this moment. They're not going for Roshan. They're waiting for Na'Vi to go for Roshan so they can get that fantastic initiation. Imagine if they initiated with an entire team Black Hold. That would probably be GG. But Na'Vi are not unwise enough to do that, and I think they might even see the plan that they're trying to attempt. They're trying to get in that good position, and thus Na'Vi, I think they're just going to continue on with the pushing. However, we have to be careful. We don't want too many members to get caught away from the rest of the group, as we can see right here, because it will result in them possibly dying a horrible, horrible death. Like the Nature's Prophet dying like a 5th time. Tinker moving in is going to sheep stick himself forward or force off himself forward. Indeed, he will not. Nature's Prophet going to teleport back to safety. I'm going to guess Na'Vi are keeping close tabs on this. Roshan, I'm surprised there aren't wards here on either side, really. You want to make sure you know if either team's attempting that Roshan. Na'Vi, turtle team, yells out Captain Syndron of Team Mortal Teamwork. Actually only recently learned that MTW stood for Mortal Teamwork. Had no idea what it stood for before. Mortal Teamwork, I don't know what's with that name. It looks like Fnatic are going to try and take down Roshan. Is the damage going to be enough? Na'Vi are well out of position. They're not nearby at all. Are they just going to let them take Roshan? This is... The damage isn't that strong to come out of them. They're spamming the Shiver's Guard, the Tinker, using it for an extra bit of vision. And I think they know that Roshan's being done and they're moving into position. Roshan being brought to half HP already. Na'Vi absolutely have to engage now if they want to prevent them from picking up the Aegis of the Immortal. In fact, Fnatic backing off themselves. Hex to land on the Shadow Demon, rapidly taking a fall. Shackle isn't even necessary there. Nice easy pick up from them. They've killed Roshan for them. They brought him down to half HP. The team of Fnatic just backed off. They didn't even try to engage. I was very surprised by that. And now the Lone Druid picked himself an Aegis of the Immortal. 3,300 HP on him. That's going to be boosted to 6,600 because of that Aegis. You're going to have to kill that bastard twice. Who picked up the cheese, by the way? I'm going to assume Dendi did. Yes, indeed. And Fnatic are going to have some troubles holding down this push. They're down one member already. And we have Cheese and Aegis for the team of Na'Vi, and I have a feeling they're going to capitalize on it this time, instead of sort of letting it go to waste last time. Tinker picked himself up a couple of Dagons, finally spending that money. I feel it could be better used though. A Eul's Scepter would be approximately 1 million times more useful than Dagon. Like, seriously. Eul's would be pretty freaking fantastic on him, especially since you can use that rearm and use it. We still haven't spent anything with this money. I don't know why Fnatic aren't doing that. 4,600 in the bank. We have 3,800 in the bank, closing in on 4,000. Shadow Demon still has a perpetual state of nothing. 4,800 in the bank. No Bloodstone. No nothing. The team of Fnatic, they're just not spending their money, and it's really weird because I look back at here, and Nature's Prophet has 7,700 in the bank. Holy hell. But I look back at Fnatic, there are new items almost every time. Look back at Na'Vi rather. Monkey King Bar being in hand there for the bear. And this tower's days are over. Fortification is going to go down. It doesn't matter. The damage to come in from the bear is going to be too much, but they're bursting it down, being teleported back, recreated rather. Hex is still down on him as well as a curse. They need to back him off because, of course, you can't recreate it that often. It will have to wait 2 minutes before the recreation will happen again. Queen of Pain pushing herself very far forward, blinking her way back to safety. Team of Na'Vi, neither side wanting to engage just yet. Puppy pushing his way down the bottom lane, has to be careful, although he's died plenty of times down here. Queen of Pain moving herself into position, as there is the rest of Team Fnatic. And I think Lone Druid could find himself now rapidly teleporting as he's happened before. He's not going to let it happen again. In the meantime, Lone Druid securing himself a double damage rune. Team absolutely popping down those Ancients. A lot of damage to come out of that duo. Smoke Gank to come out for Team Fnatic. However, the team of Na'Vi are all grouped up as they have a tendency of doing, and it's unlikely they're going to catch someone out, except for maybe the poor Nature's Prophet, who's several times have been caught well out of position and died as a result. Taking a look over at the gold, a 12,000 advantage for the team of Na'Vi, with a closing a little bit more than 10k in the XP department, again, for the team of Na'Vi. Fnatic once again looking around for any easy kills, but no one's at the bottom lane. We're all unified in mid with the exception of the Prophet, who's continuing to push all the lanes back as much as humanly possible, forcing to keep that Tinker at base. Fnatic are not going to find anyone. Fnatic rotating their way to top. I think they want to try and push this top lane, especially the... Do they know that Team Fnatic is down the bottom here? I'm not sure. But they're rapidly teleporting back. Illusion Rune here, going to be picked up by the Lone Druid. Now this will be the time to push. We've got the reinforcements of essentially 3 Lone Druids. Of course we have the Aegis of the Immortal. If there's a time to push, it's now. Nature's Prophet starting it off Treants coming in. Rocket's doing a little bit of damage as the Martian machines make things a little bit more difficult, but I don't think they're all that worried. The Bear moving in, the Illusions pushing forward too. The Martian machines actually doing loads of damage. Split Earth at the perfect timing. Lightning Storm to clear out the creep wave just that little bit. Forced off for some reason. Sheep to land here on the Spirit Bear, but the tower does take a fall. As does the Spirit Bear, immediately recreated, and the barracks are now bare and vulnerable. And are Na'Vi going to continue to press the issue, or are they going to be happy with this little victory? A small step for man. I love how cheeky Syndrome's being right now. I don't think he's that appreciative of really hard, heavy turtling games. But alas, it happens. Na'Vi are indeed turtling their hearts out right now. And oh, good lord, this game has been going for 63 minutes thus far. Nature's Prophet is fine, it's just the illusions that are there, not him at all. I was thinking, ah no, Poppy's going to get himself caught out again. Indeed, it is not the case. And I actually have no idea who's going to take the victor right now. I'm really surprised Na'Vi aren't pushing more, considering all the items they have. Shiver's Guard in hand for the Tidehunter. We of course have that delicious Aegis of the Immortal, as I've said so many times, in hand. For that Prophet, for the Lone Druid. Are we going to get it in time? They don't have any form of disable. The Sheep comes in just in time. The Hex land, all the right-click damage, and Tangle goes down as well, and that is an easy kill on the Shrek. And I think this is what Na'Vi needs to finally convince them that maybe we can push. They've been very reluctant to push thus far. They're the turtling team of 2012, ladies and gentlemen. They're holding it back. They're not committing to anything. They're just doing a little bit of damage, and then they're leaving. They do a little bit more damage, and then they're leaving. But I think now they want to try and finish and take the killing blow. Pushing in, take a barracks, no tower here to defend. Spirit Bear being sent out first, going in on the Shadow Demon, blinking in to Scream, as well as the ulti, and immediately the Dendi takes a pop. But buying back effectively immediately. Shadow Demon has taken a fall as well. Nice Ravage to come in. Lone Druid taking a fall. Nature's Prophet taking a fall. Immediately buying back. Nice Black Hole to land on the Venomancer taking a fall as well. Is he going to buy back? Nice Shackle to come in from the Dendi. Here comes the right-click damage. No BKB being had for either side. Two members of the team of Fnatic taking a fall just then. Tinker buying back. So many buybacks coming in all round. And now the towers are going to start taking some damage. The barracks, rather. Queen blinking in once again. The Scream to come in. But a nice Shackle to go on her. And this is going to be her death. Look at the right-click damage. Look at the crits to come out of that Nature's Prophet. And the Dendi as well. Ultra kill being earned for the Lone Druid as he's pushing in and just killing everyone. The Aegis of the Immortal is still yet to be used. Dagon charge to be used as well. Silence there on the Queen of Pain. Shackle doesn't latch, doesn't need to. She is dead. And Enigma's going to be the next one to fall. Dagon being used once again, just spamming the Dagon as much as possible. Sheep Stick as well as the Integral to come in, trying to force off his way to safety. Is it going to be enough? It is not indeed. And the entire team of Fnatic has fallen, leaving Na'Vi free reign of their base. Finally, haha, great victory has been achieved for the team of Na'Vi. Did the Aegis of the Immortal even get used? It did indeed, so that charge did get used up. GG's going all around, fortification out for whatever reason. And alas, it took some time, but Na'Vi finally secured themselves a kill. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Defense 2, brought to you and organized by joinDOTA, commentated by Toshley and powered by Razor and BenQ. We have seen Na'Vi going up against Fnatic, with Na'Vi securing themselves the victory and, of course, the progression further throughout this tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, my name has been Toshley. I'll see you next time.